everyone and welcome back to Pabbly. In this video, we are going to learn how to send webinar invitations and log Typeform leads in Airtable. So I'm a business coach and I collect the leads data, the potential clients data using the form that I've created using Typeform. Over here, what I want is that as soon as by the lead a form submission is going to be done, towards the lead, firstly, I want to send an email. Over here in this email, I want to add the webinar link using which the lead can directly go to the webinar that I'm hosting. With that, as I want to create the systematic record of the leads details, I'm going to keep the record in my Airtable. Now, doing this manually is a very time-consuming job. So to solve this problem, I have built the connection between Typeform, Gmail and Airtable without need of any coding and programming skills using Pabbly Connect. So now if you want to learn the entire process step by step, I'm going to take you towards my screen. Welcome to my screen. So as a business coach, I often host webinars to share valuable strategies with my audience and attract potential clients. I have used Typeform to collect the webinar registrants in an engaging and professional way. I use Airtable to organize and manage all the leads data in one place. And I also use email to instantly send personalized webinar invitations to every registrant. To streamline the entire process, I've set up an automation that automatically sends the webinar invitation email as soon as someone registers with a form submission, as I've created the form using Typeform, while also logging their details in Airtable for easy tracking and follow-up. And I'm going to build a connection between these three applications without need of any coding and programming skills using Pabbly Connect. So first of all, I'm going to show you how this automation will work in real time. Let us do this form submission. I'm going to copy the link of the form from here and open it in a new tab right over here. So this is the form that I've created using Typeform. You can see right here. I'm going to click on this start button. Okay. It is asking for the leads details. Firstly, for the first name over here, I'm going to write it as new. For the last name over here, I'm going to write it as lead. For the phone number over here, I'm going to enter a dummy mobile number right here. Then it is asking for my email address. For the email address, I'm going to write it as new@pabblytudes.com, and lastly for the company name, I'm going to write a dummy company name. Then I'm going to click on this OK button. Which stage best describes your business right now? I'm going to select over here as early growth. Then it is asking for my main business goal. So for the answer of this question, I'm going to write it as I want to generate more leads and improve my sales conversion rate. Okay, this is the answer. I'm going to click on this submit button. Thanks for completing the form. That means now the form submission is done successfully. As now this form submission is done, I'm going to open my Gmail account and check whether I have received an invitation email or not. For that, I'm going to go back. And yes, you can see right away I have received this email. Welcome to webinar new lead. Okay, it says you're officially registered. Okay, you can see the date and time of the webinar is mentioned here, and this is the joining link. If I'm going to click on it, you'll land towards the link of the webinar that I have created using every webinar. You can see right here. Okay, so in this manner, this webinar link has been forwarded towards this person who has done the form submission using Typeform. With that, if I'm going to open my Airtable and refresh this record, automatically you can see the record is also been created. Name is new lead, email is new@pabblytudes.com. The dummy mobile number, company name is XYZ company. If I'm going to scroll, you can see the business stage is early growth. This is the message you can see right over here that we have written, and the email status comes over here as sent. That means the invitation email has been successfully forwarded as well. Okay. So as now the record has also been created, this is how this amazing automation will work in real time. And we are going to create this amazing automation using Pabbly Connect. For that, on a new tab, I'm going to browse the website of Pabbly Connect, that is www.pabbly.com/connect. Okay, so I'm going to browse this website, and Pabbly Connect's landing page is going to appear in front of you, where you will find two options, that is sign in or sign up for free. Before we create this amazing automation, I want to tell you about Pabbly Community. Pabbly Community is a space where you can find real-time updates on Pabbly. Over here, you can get help not just from our team members, but also the fellow users. In this exclusive space, you can ask questions, share your feedback, and also find automation tips. So go ahead and join our Pabbly community today. For that, you will find the link of our community in the description box below. After coming to the landing page of Pabbly Connect, I've already told you, you will find two options, sign in or sign up for free. If you're an existing user, that means you have a valid Pabbly account, you can directly sign in to your Pabbly Connect account. But if you're a new user, you can sign up for free and get 100 free tasks every month. I'm an existing user, so I'm going to directly sign in to my Pabbly Connect account. Then you will find the All Pabbly Apps section where you will find all the applications that Pabbly provides, from which I'm going to use Pabbly Connect. So I'm going to click on this Access Now button right over here. Then Pabbly Connect's dashboard is going to appear in front of you. Now to create an amazing automation in Pabbly Connect, we have to create a workflow. For that, click on this Create Workflow button on the top right corner, where you will find two methods to build the workflow, the new beta method or the old classic method. I'm going to create this amazing workflow using the old classic method from here. So I'm going to select this option. Firstly, we have to rename our workflow. So for the name of my workflow, I'm going to give it as Send Webinar Invitations and Log Typeform Leads in Airtable. Okay, so this is the name of my workflow. For the folder, these are the folders from which I'm going to select Workflows folder, and then I'm going to click on this Create button right here. And then you can see right over here a new workflow is going to be created, where you will find two windows in front of you. One is the trigger window, other one is the action window. So what is trigger and action? Trigger and action are the two most important steps of our automation process, because our process depends on these two principles. Over here, trigger says when this happens and action says do this. That means what is action? Action is a response towards our trigger. In an automation process, there can be only one trigger step but multiple action steps. We are going to set up our trigger step first, in which for my trigger application, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select over here as Typeform. As now, by the registrant, a new form submission is going to be done using Typeform. I want this trigger should capture the response of that. And that is why for my trigger event, I'm going to select over here as New Entry. And then I'm going to click on this Connect button. This window is going to appear, on which click on Add New Connection. Then click on this Connect with Typeform button right here. Then this window is going to appear in front of you, which is asking for the permission from my Typeform account. So I'm going to click on this Accept button, as this is a safe process and my data is perfectly safe with Pabbly Connect. So I'm going to click on this Accept button right here. And as I've done that, you can see Typeform is successfully connected to Pabbly Connect. After that, firstly, it is asking for me to select the form. Which form's data do we want to capture in our response right here? So for the form, I have created a form in the name of Business Growth Webinar Registration. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the form over here as Business Growth Webinar Registration as the form. Okay. Then you can see it says simple response. Yes, I need a simple response. So I'm going to toggle this button on from here and simply click on this Save and Send Test Request button right here. And it says waiting for response. So now to check whether Typeform is successfully connected to Pabbly Connect or not, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a form submission using this form that I've created. So I'm going to copy the link of this form from here and open it in a new tab right over here. You can see this is the form that I've created right here. I'm going to click on this Start button to do the form submission. It is asking for my leads details right here. So I'm going to fill in all the required details. For the first name over here, I'm going to write it as demo. For the last name over here, I'm going to write it as user. For the phone number, I'm going to enter a dummy mobile number right here. Okay. After that, it is asking for the email address. For the email address, I'm going to write it as demo@pabblytudes.com. And for the company, I'm going to write it as ABC Company. Then I'm going to click on this OK button. It is asking for what stage is my business on. So I'm going to select as established and stable. Okay. Now it is asking for my business goal. So for the business goal, I'm going to write it as my goal is to build a solid brand that stands out in a crowded market. Okay. So this is the third answer. So I'm going to click on the submit button and it says thanks for the form submission. As now the form submission is done successfully using Typeform, I'm going to go back to my workflow and scroll down, and yes, you can see the response has been captured in my trigger. If you go to tally the response right here, you can see the first name is demo, the last name is user, this is the mobile number you can see right here, email is demo@pabblytudes.com, company name is ABC Company. You can see the stage comes over here as established and stable, and this was the goal that we have entered right here. Okay, so as now the response has been captured over here in my trigger, this means that Typeform is successfully connected to Pabbly Connect and our trigger setup is now been done. After setting up our trigger step, we need to set up our action step. Over here, we are going to select our action application as Gmail first. As towards this registrant, I want to send the webinar link through an email. Okay. And for the action event, I'm going to select over here as Send Email V1. And then I'm going to click on this Connect button. This window is going to appear, on which click on Add New Connection. Then click on this Connect with Gmail button right here. Then it is asking for us to choose an account. Which account do we want to connect to Pabbly Connect? This is the account. I'm going to select this option. Then it is asking for the permission for the account. As this is a safe process, I'm going to click on this Allow button as my data is safe with Pabbly Connect. Okay. And as I'm going to do that, automatically Gmail is going to be connected to Pabbly Connect. Firstly, it is asking for me to enter the recipient email address. To which email address we want to send an email to. For the email address over here, I'm going to map the data. Mapping is inserting data from the previous step. So I'm going to insert the data from the previous step of this workflow. How it works is that as soon as I'm going to click on this field, the previous step is going to appear. As I'm going to click on it, the response that is captured in our previous step is going to appear, in which we have received the email address. If I'm going to further scroll down, you can see this is the email address of our lead, the registrant who have registered for the webinar. And as towards this email address, I want to send the webinar link. So I'm going to select the data of the recipient email address from my previous response. As now I have selected this data from my previous response, this data is now been mapped. And as I've mapped this data, the data has now become dynamic. That means now whenever a new response is going to be captured in our previous step, automatically the new data is going to be updated in place of this mapped data. Next, it is asking for the sender's name. So for the sender's name over here, my name is demo account. So I'm going to write over here the sender's name as demo account. Okay. Then it is asking for the subject of our email. For the subject, I'm going to write over here as you're in. Join us for strategies to grow your business. Okay, this is the subject that I have. Okay, next it is asking for the reply to, which I do not have, so I'm going to skip the part. Email content type. I'm going to write the email content over here in an HTML format. So for the email content, I'm going to select over here the option HTML. If you're writing the email content in plain body, you can select the option plain from here. Okay. Now for the email content over here, I'm going to write it as, you can see right over here, this is the email content that I have. Okay, you can see over here, this is the entire body, and in the body it is asking for the name of my registrant. So I'm going to map the data of the name of my registrant from here. First name space, I'm going to map the data of the last name. Okay, over here in this email, I have added the link of the webinar as well, and I've got this link from Ever Webinar. So I'm going to copy this link of this webinar from here to show you. I'm going to open it right here. This is the link that I've received from Ever Webinar, and with the help of Ever Webinar, I'm managing all my webinars. Okay, so I've added this link over here in this HTML body as well, so that the registrant will receive this webinar link. Okay, so now after adding the content, it is asking for these details, which I'm going to skip and simply click on this save and send test request button. As I've done that, I have received a response in which I've received the result as sent. That is a positive response. So if I'm going to open my Gmail account and go back from here, and as you can see right away, I've received this email. You're in. Join us for strategies to grow your business. You're officially registered, and the person's name was demo user. You can see right here. You can see this is the body for the webinar with the date and time of the webinar as well. And over here it says join the webinar. As I'm going to click on it, automatically it will land towards the link. That is the webinar link that I've added. Okay. So as you can see right over here, this email has been forwarded. Now what we are going to do is we are going to add the data of the registrant, as well as we are going to update the status of the email being sent as sent in our Airtable record. For that, I'm going to add an action step from here, in which from action application, I'm going to select over here as Airtable. Action event is going to be create record, and then I'm going to click on this connect button. This window is going to appear, on which click on add new connection, then click on this connect with Airtable button right here. As I'm going to do that, this window is going to appear in front of you, on which I'm going to add all the resources, and then I'm going to grant the access to Pabbly Connect of my Airtable account, because my data is perfectly safe with Pabbly Connect. Okay, and as I'm going to do that, automatically Airtable is going to be connected to Pabbly Connect. For the base name, I'm going to select the base that I've created in the name of webinar registrants. So over here, I'm going to search for the base that I've created and select it from here. Okay. And then I've created a single table in the name of table 1. So I'm going to select that table, and then it is asking for all these fields. These fields are the headers that I've added over here in this table. Okay. For the data of these fields, we are going to map the data. For the name, I'm going to search for the name right here. And I'm going to map the data of the name. First name space the last name. Okay. After that, it is asking for the email address, for which I'm going to map the data of the email address. For the phone number over here, I'm going to map the data of the phone number that I've received right here of my registrant. For the company name over here, I'm going to map the data of the company name that I've received. If I'm going to scroll down, this is the company name. I'm going to map the data. In the similar manner, for the business stage, I'm going to map the data of the stage. I'm going to search for it. This is the stage. I'm going to map the data, and I'm going to map the data of the goal as well right here. This is the goal. I'm going to map the data. Okay. And for the email status over here, I'm going to write over here as sent. Okay. After writing the email status, it is asking for enable typecasting. I'm going to select the option as false and simply click on this save and send test request button right here. As I've done that, I have received a response in which I've received the record ID. That is a positive response. So if I'm going to open my Airtable record and refresh this page from here, you can see a record is automatically created. Name is demo user. You can see right over here. This is the email address, that is demo@pabblytudes.com with the mobile number. Over here you can see the name is ABC company. Over here this is the stage, established and stable. This is the same goal that we have received and the status is sent. Okay. So as now the record has also been successfully created in my Airtable. This means that we have successfully built the connection between Typeform, Gmail and Airtable using Pabbly Connect. So now to sum up till now what we have done, as soon as by the registrant now a form submission is going to be done using Typeform, the trigger Typeform new entry is going to capture the response of that. As now we have the registrant's details, towards this registrant an email is going to be forwarded with the webinar link attached. The link is from our ever webinar account. Okay. With the help of Gmail send email v1. As the email is forwarded, I've automatically updated the record of the registrant's details and updated the status of the email been sent on my Airtable using Airtable create record. And in this manner, I've built a connection between these three applications without need of any coding and programming skills using Pabbly Connect. So this was it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Not just with these applications, you can create automation between multiple applications using Pabbly Connect. If you have any doubts, you can send us email on support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can ask us queries on forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can check out this link. If you like this video, please do subscribe to our channel and hit the like button down there.